Hello, students. We are continuing to work with probability. Let's read this problem. Emma has a spinner with 8 equal segments labeled A, B, C, and D, as shown in the picture below. If Emma turns the spinner 72 times, how many times can she predict the spinner will land on the letter A or B? So let's read that question again. Remember that if we use our cube strategy, we want to make sure that we circle and underline all important information. We used our colors, and we're going to box in our question. So how many times can she predict the spinner will land on the letter A or B? We have how many times can she predict the letter A or B? So let's go ahead and elaborate. We're going to count and figure out the information that is on this spinner. So if I'm looking for A or B, I'm going to circle those. So I have an A, a B, A, A, A. So now I'm going to write that here. The probability of getting an A or B is how many times favorable outcomes, the ones that we wanted. How many are there in this spinner? We circled them. That is correct, 5. Out of the total. So the total is all of the other letters and the ones that we wanted. So the total number of sections on the spinner, we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 8 as the denominator. So the probability of getting A or B on this spinner is 5/8. Now we're going to set up a proportion. So as we know, when we set up a proportion box, what we want to do is the probability of getting that A or B over the total. And we got 5/8. And so you can see that this was 8 equal segments, and we want this to be 72 times. And we want to know what this will be. So we put an unknown, we put X. So now we're going to use our idea of relationships. Can you see a relationship or a factor? From 8 to 72, it's getting larger, so I am going to think we are multiplying. And 8 times 9 is 72. So that relationship should work up here as well. So 5 times 9 will give us X. So X equals 5 times 9 is 45. So we found it with our relationship. Let's talk about another way we could do it. We could take this proportion box and make our proportion 5/8 equals X over 72. And we can use our cross products. 8 times X is 8X equals 5 times 72. And we're going to get 360. Now we have a one-step equation. So we're going to divide by the coefficient, which is 8. Remember, in an equation, we do the same thing to both sides. So if I divide by 8 on the left, I divide by 8 on the right. And now we're going to get 8 divided by 8, which is 1, so we've isolated the X. And 360 divided by 8 is 4. It's 32, 4, and that is 5. So we get 45 once again. Let's do it one more way just for fun because we love probability. So I know that the probability of getting A or B is 5/8. Now we take the probability of the favorable outcome and we multiply it by the number of times we're going to do the experiment. And in this case, it turns out that we're going to spin the spinner 72 times. So we can multiply by 72 over 1, and we will get 360 divided by 8 times 1 is 8. And 360 divided by 8 is 45. So x must equal 45. We elaborated, we did multiple ways, and then we solved it and we got 45. So our correct answer is D, 45 times. To answer the question, how many times can she predict the spinner will land on the letter A or B? If she spins it 72 times, it will be 45. It's your turn.